St. Thomas More awaits the winner of our next game, Lakeside Lutheran and Kiel. For a preview, let's go courtside to Carly Murata and Mike Hoosier.
Thanks so much, Scott. Yeah, Lakeside Lutheran and Kiel going head-to-head in the next Division III state semifinal game. I'm Carly Murata alongside Mike Hoosier. Two very similar teams here.
Yeah, as you said, Carly, very similar. And in talking with both coaches, it's like looking in the mirror at each other, right? So it should be a very entertaining contest. Both teams have tremendous players on their respective sides.
All right, let's get right to the Menards points of the game. The points of the game are brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. We start with the Warriors, led by Wes Ron, Casey Guzman, and Cooper Milsna. Yeah,
Ron is a problem in the post for a lot of teams. Guzman is a heady point guard, and Milsna at 27 in the sectional semifinal earlier.
And now to Kiel, Peace Arns, Grant Munns, and Jack Heckman leading the way.
Arns is a 4-year starter. Munns is a 4-year starter. Heckman, one of the best three-point shooters in Division III. You look at their numbers there, they speak for themselves.
All right, this should be a good one. We'll be meeting the teams after this timeout. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. And now it's time to meet the teams for the Division III state semifinal game. For that, we send it over to PA announcer Jim Strick.
Let's meet the teams for today's second Division III semifinal between the Lakeside Lutheran Warriors and the Kiel Raiders. First, here are the Warriors from Lakeside Lutheran. Number 3, Ben Crockless. Number 11, Luke Crockless. Number 12, Easton Wolfram. Number 21, Ethan Zuberbeer. Number 25, Cameron Bankritz. Number 34, Brady Wolfram. Number 44, Thomas Dwyer. And number 45, Jackson Stein. Let's meet the Kiel Raiders. Number 4, Braden Raminger. Number 10, Logan Bruner. Number 14, Cade Velker. Number 24, Trevin Heller. Number 30, Hunter Pitson. Number 32, Landon Bruner. Number 34, Miles DeTroy. Number 50, Brandon Muehlbauer. And number 54, Tyler Genty. And now today's starting lineups. First for Lakeside Lutheran. At forward, a 6'4" senior, number 4, Evan Newman. At a guard, a 5'10" junior, number 5, Casey Guzman. At guard, a 6'3" senior, number 15, Cooper Milsna. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 23, Alex Ranke. And at center, a 6'7" sophomore, number 32, Wes Ron. Lakeside Lutheran is coached by Todd Jans. And now today's starting lineup for the Kiel Raiders. At guard, a 6' senior, number 12, Aiden Murphy. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 22, Pierce Arns. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 40, Jack Heckman. At forward, a 6'6" senior, number 42, Grant Munns. And at forward, a 6'2" junior, number 44, Braden April. Kiel is coached by Marcus Rumpf. Today's officials are Nick Pilsner from Stevens Point, Nick Weisenbeck from Durand, and Kent Meehey from Darlington.
And here are your starting lineups brought to you by Construction Business Group and Destinations Career Academy, preparing students for a rewarding career as a Wisconsin operating engineer. For Lakeside Lutheran, it's Newman, Guzman, Milsna, Ranke, and Ron. For Kiel, Murphy, Arns, Heckman, Munns, and April. And here we go. We're getting set for tip at the center. It's Kiel who controls the tip, and Pierce Arns leading the way for the Raiders.
Both teams primarily man-to-man defensive teams. We'll look at the matchups.
April drives baseline, loses it out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Raiders.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting, Carly, with Munns and Ron matched up together, and then who matches up on Arns. And right now it looks like it's Reinke to start. He's their best on-ball defender.
And a good deflection there. Ron on the move. Takes it all the way in. And rebounded by Munz. Here comes Kiel. Arns inside, and he's headed to the line.
Yeah, good use of the shot fake there by Pierce to be able to get into the heart of the defense and draw the foul. Again, Arns is a player, over 1,800 career points, all-time leader in assists and steals at Kiel High School. And that's saying something. They've had a lot of good players come through that high school here in recent times.
And Kiel actually taking it out of bounds. Here's Arns again with it.
And you'd expect both teams to have some nerves. State semifinal. And there you might see a product of it. Arns is a young man, does not turn it over a lot. But they also got Lakeside in a switch with Ron on Arns, and we'll see if that's something that Coach Jans for Lakeside consistently does, or if it was just a miscommunication defensively.
Guzman, a true point guard for Lakeside Lutheran, dumps it off to Ron, blocked at the rim.
Good recovery by Munz there at the rim.
Kiel the other way. Munz off the mark.
Lakeside is opportunistic on offense. It doesn't look like they want to run, but Guzman is a creative finisher, and there you see it as he finishes with his left hand going right.
So Lakeside Lutheran on the board first, and a chance at a three-point play there from Grant Munz.
Kind of a broken play. Munz was in the right spot at the right time, finished through contact. He's a tough matchup for a lot of teams. There you see his numbers, 16 points, almost 17, almost 60% from the floor, and 13 rebounds per game, headed to UW-Stevens Point. And just a really terrific high school basketball player.
Guzman picks it out. Ron drives on Munz and gets it to go.
And that's, if he gets to his spot or he gets in his space with his size and physicality, it's going to be real hard to defend him. We'll see if Kiel at some point brings some doubles to try to disrupt and get the ball out of his hands.
Aiden Murphy has it up top. Arns.
There they get the switch on the ball screen, and Lakeside does a good job of covering that up and then switching back.
Arns drives baseline, skips it across to Heckman, up top to Munz. Arns has it on the low block. Turnaround jumper off the glass is no good. Lakeside Lutheran back at the state tournament for the second consecutive season. They lost in the semifinals last year.
They had to replace 7 of their top 8. Reinke really the only young man and Mills that played last year. And Coach Jans has done a nice job of getting his guys back here. They beat a really good Platteville team in the sectional final. Had to get that in there. And Kiel beat a really good Denmark team as well. So, or I'm sorry, Freedom, excuse me. So both teams tested on their way here to the Kohl Center without question. And Lakeside actually had to knock off Lake Mills, who was a conference opponent who they had split with in the regular season.
Hoosier, you cracked me up. Guzman overlays it.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that.
Oh, we have to. If you don't know, Mike Hoosier is the coach for Platteville. They had a great season. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Lakeside Lutheran with an early 2-point lead in the Division III state semifinal game. Both these teams with remarkable seasons, and they could tie De Pere for the most wins by a state champion. Right now, De Pere leads the way with 30 wins. Kiel with 28 on the season. They are 28-0 undefeated, so Kiel could tie De Pere.
Yeah, Kiel could, Wisconsin Lutheran could, and of course, Coach Winchester at De Pere has done a masterful job with that program. And getting to 30 wins on a season is quite an accomplishment, and then to have a state championship to top it off is even more special.
What a spin move by Arns. Doesn't go, but Munz is there to clean it up.
Munz is a 1,000-point scorer, and he's got over 1,000 career rebounds, and right there, tenacious on the glass, and he gets Gets the kind bounce on the rim with the tip.
Milsna feeds Ron. Ron takes it inside, kicks it back out. Guzman takes it himself.
Yeah, right now, and that's a problem for Kiel. Guzman's able to get to the paint, and when he gets there, like I said, he's very creative with how he finishes. I think his development over the course of the season as a point guard has been a huge part of Lakeside's success.
Arns averages 20 points per game, gets inside the paint.
That was well done. That was a good, quick move along the baseline and able to get it up over the outstretched hands of Ron. If Kiel, that is, switches up defensive rotations a little bit to keep Guzman out.
Guzman short on the three-point attempt. All tied up at 6 here. Kiel is in the state tournament for the first time since 2010. Both teams looking for their first state championships as Murphy's shot is rejected by Wes Ron.
Yeah, good job of rotating. That's a heck of a move. That's 6'7", the Euro step through. The agility. It's a high-level move by a young man that's starting to gain a lot of recruiting interest.
Raiders looking to answer here. Heckman over to Munns.
Yeah, Heckman's a guy that the Raiders will try to get loose for some three-point attempts, but right now, Milson's doing a good job of shadowing him and making him give it up.
April takes it baseline, off the mark, and rebounded by Ranke. Nice move inside again from Wes Ron.
He loves to work the baseline, and right now his physicality is just a little bit too much for Munns once he gets going downhill. Another great take. Left-hand dribble, right-hand finish by Arns. I think he's repped that a few times in the gym.
Yeah, Coach Marcus Rumpf says he's our motor. He's the program's all-time leading scorer. Great game so far for him. Guzman gets inside.
They did a better job getting Guzman off of his line to the rim. No straight line drive.
Newman for three.
Now that's a little bit off the scouting report. Newman's not one that likes to shoot a lot. Wouldn't say he's unwilling, but if he gets his feet set, he's capable, and that'll be big for Lakeside if they can get some scoring outside of their three leading scorers.
Murphy inside to Munns. Turnaround jumper, short, rebounded by Ron.
Again, very disruptive at 6'7" with those long arms.
Guzman, nice pass ahead to Rinke, who finishes.
Like we said with the Warriors, they're opportunistic, Carly. I don't want to say that they'll play at a frenetic pace, but if you don't get back on defense, they will take advantage of it.
Arns for three. Munns comes away with the offensive board, gets inside, draws the foul.
That would have been big for Kiel. Down 7. And Kiel again comes in averaging over 70 points a game, but Lakeside's so good defensively, you want to keep it within a 3-possession game for sure.
So Grant Munns, he broke the rebounding record as a junior. He's the first kid in Kiel history to have over 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds.
You a big rebounder when you played at Homestead?
No, but my sister, Chloe, yeah, she loved to rebound.
She can play a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was a big rebounder.
I think we talked about this last year. You were a mid-range shooter, a variety of things. It's all led to you being the lead sports person at WKOW.
I'm not a basketball player, yes.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Lakeside Lutheran, a team that Coach Todd Jan said didn't expect to be back here. As we mentioned, they graduated 7 of their top 8, 9 guys. Alex and Cooper are the ones that return. Alex Ranke and Cooper Milsna are the ones that return for Lakeside Lutheran, but they didn't play significant roles in last season's team. So this is really a new group for them.
It's a brand new group for them, and of course they had to replace Levi Burkholtz, who was a candidate for Mr. Basketball last year. You'll see now Coach Jans went to his bench. They'll go a little more delay here and be patient with some of their reserves in the game and really go side, top side, work the ball around, get touches, and really probe for a specific type of shot that they want, which is generally a layup.
Inside, Ranke.
Good job by Kiel to wall off and make that a contested shot. Forced them into a tough two.
Heckman's specialty, too strong. Rebounded by Murphy, and he gets it to
Good
go.
finish. Good rebound by Murphy, and then a really good finish up through the defender.
4-point game here. The winner will meet St. Thomas More in the D3 state championship game on Saturday.
You'll see a back cut, bring him off of a double screen. You see some of these guys want to pull the trigger, but they're well coached and probing for exactly the type of shot that they want.
Ranke up top to Wolfram for 3. Rebounded by Murphy. Murphy has it in the corner. Gives it up to Munns. Draws a lot of attention in there. Gets his own rebound and put back.
Without Ron in there, he's got a little more room to operate, and that was a really good play by Munns to recognize that, attack, and then stick with it and get the putback.
Cuts the Lakeside Lutheran's lead to just 2 here. Newman up top, over to Clockless. And Kiel with 7 second chance points. Lakeside Lutheran still looking for more second chance points. They have 0 on the day. You said rebounds would be a big factor in this game.
I think offensive rebounding absolutely is. I think when you have 2 teams that are this evenly matched, that the offensive rebounding gives you extra possessions and then taking care of the ball. Both of these teams do a really good job of taking care of the ball, so you don't expect a lot of turnovers. So I think the offensive rebounding is going to be vital in the outcome of this game. Nice travel right there.
Wolfram called for the travel. Lakeside Lutheran with a 15-13 lead. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. The 2024 WIAA Basketball Championships are brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance Company. Premiums paid here, stay here. To keep Wisconsin strong, a proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award for over 50 years. You're looking at Lakeside Lutheran head coach Todd Jans. He's nearing 40 years of coaching, his 5th year at Lakeside Lutheran.
He's been involved in the game for a long time, and he's one of the really good guys in the game as far as just the way he handles himself, the way his teams conduct themselves. And as disappointed as I was for our guys last Saturday, Carly, you're happy for Coach Jans because he's one of the good guys in the game.
And we have to give a shout out to his wife, Susie. He calls her a saint.
All coaches' wives are saints. Let's not kid ourselves. And they put up with a lot and go through the up and downs of a season. And their perspectives, although sometimes you don't necessarily want to hear it, are much appreciated.
Milsna, short jumper, rebounded by Munns.
See, now Lakeside came back with Ron, and see if he matches up here now on Munns, which he will. Just a little bit too easy for Munns when Ron was out of the game.
Barnes kicks it over to Volker for 3.
That's big shot by Volker.
The 6th man for the Raiders.
Yeah, his brother was a standout player at UW Platteville, and they needed that, gives them the lead. And I think the Raiders have really settled in here as this first half has progressed.
That's Kiel's first lead of the day. Lakeside Lutheran looking for an answer here. Double team down low. Ooh, I thought that was going to go for a second.
Ron was able to split that double team and draw the charge. Or not the charge, the foul, excuse me.
Kiel just took their first lead of the game off this 3-pointer from Cade Volker. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Kiel leads the way, 18-15 in the Division III state semifinal game. Coach, what's been the key to their 10-0 run here?
Yeah, I think two things. I think one, Ron was out of the game. Munz has been able to get rebounds. He's got 9.7 rebounds. We knew coming into the game he did that at a really high level. He's had a major impact, and they've done Kiel's done a better job of keeping Lakeside Lutheran out of the painted area of the floor, made it more perimeter based.
And Ron loses it out of bounds, but it's going to stay with the Warriors. And we're looking at Marcus Rump. He's been the Kiel head coach for 6 years.
Yeah, took over. One of his assistants, Jamie Arns, was the coach prior to Marcus, and said they have not missed a beat. Culture stayed the same, and definitely shows today as you watch these young men play.
In and out, rebounded by Ron, and he's headed to the line.
Yeah, Reinke had a good look there. Hoop just wouldn't have it, and Ron able to go up and get that offensive rebound.
Yeah, Coach Marcus Rump, we just mentioned, has Jamie Arns on the bench. That is Pierce Arns' father, and he said not many coaches can have another coach on the bench who has won a state title.
No, exactly, and I've known Jamie for a number of years and their family, and it's a really good family, and I'm sure he's a great asset to Coach Rump, and you have some continuity in the program, right? Marcus played for him, and it's been built over time, and they've had this group come through now with Jamie's son and a core group of guys, and for them to make it here is a really great accomplishment.
Yeah, I should say who's been to state. Kiel is still looking for their first state title. The last time they were here was in 2010. Heckman.
Good job by Milsner there with ball pressure, so they couldn't get the easy entry to Munz, who had position on Ron.
Arns, short jumper. Oh, good. Newman looks inside, and nice defense from Munz.
Yeah, good post defense. Got a hand in the passing lane, worked over the top side to get that deflection and steal.
Three-pointer on the way from April. Nothing but net.
Good rotation when it left his hand. The young man that's really come on. He had 2 big games this season against Valders and Brillion, and 2 highly competitive conference games, and that has carried through into the tournament.
Kiel now with a 5-point lead here. Three-pointer for the answer, no. Less than 5 to go till halftime. Arns wide open as Hickman for 3. And Lakeside comes away with the rebound. And Arns picks up the foul.
Yeah, that might have been an unnecessary foul there by Pierce, but you're going to see here, nice footwork, good rotation, and as they say, nothing but the bottom of the net. So, again, Kiel with a, their 13-1 run here over the last several minutes. They've done a better job of taking away Ron in the post. Well, he's going to get position here. He gets it that deep, it's tough.
And that is Cade Volker who draws the foul. The 2024 WIAA Basketball Championships are brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Wes Braun at the line, 7 points, 3 rebounds on the day so far for the Warriors.
Comes into the game, he averages 15 points, 10 rebounds a game. And as a sophomore, I think his progression, again, we talked about Casey Guzman and his progression for the Warriors has just been insurmountable for how good they've become as a team. He's disruptive at the rim, and he's very skilled for a young man that at that size and with that frame.
April dumps it off to Arns. Jumper is short. Lakeside Lutheran trailing by 3 here. Newman. Ooh, a nice steal there from Kiel. Arns up top to Munn, gets in the paint, kicks it out to April.
That time Ron went vertical, did a good job of contesting. Saw Kiel maybe passed up a couple open looks that they might normally take. Good take by
drive.
Oh, just overlaid it. Good job refusing the ball screen. Like you said, just overlaid the layup opportunity.
Feels like Lakeside Lutheran just needs to see a couple go in here to gain some momentum.
Hit a little bit of a dry spell. Guzman's on the bench.
Heckman takes the short jumper catch.
Nice. Did a nice job of gathering off of the ball screen and not rushing it.
Milsna with it up top. Down low. That was Easton Wolfram, who's going to be headed to the line for Lakeside Lutheran. And that's big for Pierce Arns to pick up his second foul.
And especially the first one was young man's trying to make a play, but it's 82 feet from the basket. And now he's got the second one, so we'll see if Coach Rump leaves his senior leader in, which it looks like he will. And you trust that he's going to make good decisions. Listen, he's had a whole career of good decisions, so you hope in this spot he's not over aggressive and doesn't commit that third.
Wilson, second free throw short. Is 0 of 2 at the line. Kiel hanging on to that 5-point lead here. They took the lead and never looked back in this first half, but it's been a tight game.
It has. Both teams have played very well. Been pretty much who they are and who they've been all year.
Great move from Aiden Murphy.
And there's some offense that you maybe, if you're Lakeside Lutheran, didn't see coming from Murphy, but he's had an impact here in the first half.
Coach said, whenever we need a basket, he comes out of nowhere. I would say that's pretty
fits,
on par, right?
That fits.
Newman drives in the paint, kicks it out to Ranke.
See, right now, Lakeside just a little bit out of sorts on offense. And they're going a little more delay here.
Milsna draws the double and kicks it back out. Ranke thought about the three. Hands it off to Newman, and Kiel comes away with the steal. Here's Arns, out to Murphy, three-pointer, no good. April there for the offensive board, and that's good.
Again, we talked about offensive rebounding, and it's been a huge factor in the first half.
And Kiel with a 27-18 lead. Check out this drive from Aiden Murphy, gets inside and scores.
Yeah, known as a three-point shooter. There he got to the basket, and here you see him. Here you see the offensive rebound by April, and again, Kiel, after a slow start, able to kind of pick up their offense a little bit here in the latter part of the second half.
What do you need to see from Lakeside Lutheran here? Well, there it is.
Well, right there, they've given up 5 offensive rebounds, and they've only got 1 themselves. I think if you're Lakeside Lutheran, you see Guzman is back in the game, and those offensive rebounds have led to the second chance points, whether it's Munns, whether it's April. That's what's helped get them this lead. And again, the game's a lot easier. You can play it on your terms when you're playing with a 9-point lead.
And don't forget to stick around for the Jones Dairy Farm halftime report that's coming up at the end of the half.
Here you see at the last minute, Kiel goes to a little 2-3 matchup zone. Just something to disrupt the rhythm and timing of Lakeside. Now they put Guzman, Lakeside will put Guzman at the high post. He's really crafty in there with how he conducts his business, whether shooting or setting others up.
So the Warriors get it into him. Had a good look at it, but can't convert, and they get the board. Here's Guzman underneath. Ron, he finally gets it to go.
Boy, they just stuck with it and stuck with it. And Ron's able to clean it up and then get the end one opportunity. You're going to see nice cut by Guzman. Goes to the offhand finish. Ball gets tipped around and Ron goes and gets it and finishes. That's a big basket right now for Lakeside. Is like we said, Carly, they're just a little bit out of rhythm here in this first half.
Yeah, if he can knock this down, cut it to a 2-possession game, that'll be good for Lakeside Lutheran heading into the break. Got it. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Kiel with a 6-point lead here as we wind down the first half. Lakeside Lutheran just made their first field goal from the 11-minute mark of the first half. Wes Ron with the 3-point play for them. It was much needed.
It was much needed. One of the things we did not touch on, Carly, Casey Guzman picked up 2 fouls early in this game, and with him out, you just saw their offense just kind of get a little bit stagnant, had trouble getting shots, and we'll see if that 3-point play there by Ron plays big as we move forward in this game. See Kiel now, they'll play for 1 shot, spread it out. I would look for some type of pick and pop, pick and roll action with Munns and Arns in a 2-man action here when they get down to about 10 to 12 seconds.
Arns has it here with Ranky on it, the Warriors' best on-ball defender. This is a great matchup.
It is.
Arns gets into the paint, blocked by Ron. Now the Warriors, 3 seconds left. Milsna has to put it up. And Kiel will head into the break with a 27-21 lead at halftime. Let's take another look at that block here.
Yeah, you're going to see Ron come from the weak side and does it with the proper hand, gets good extension, and the Lakeside gets the quick basket or the and one opportunity right before the half. They get the stop, a little bit of momentum going into halftime.
Kiel with a 6-point lead here at the half. And we're going to get a chance to talk to Raiders head coach Marcus Rumpf. He's standing by with Keegan Hewitt.
Coach, you give up just 1 field goal in the final 10 minutes of the half. What'd you like from the defensive effort from your guys there?
You know, that's our strong point, defenses. You know, it just took us a little bit to settle in. Once we did, we found our stride a little bit, and yeah, it was smooth sailing from there.
Mon's 1 point shy of a double-double in the first half. How's he really taking over in the paint?
He's incredible. We knew that coming in. He's probably the most physical post player we've played. You know, Grant's got his hands full tonight, but we'll make some adjustments, but yeah, props to him. He's a great kid.
Awesome, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. We appreciate your time. We'll send it back to you guys on the sideline.
All right, thanks so much, Keegan. Stick around for the Jones Dairy halftime report that's coming up. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Carly and Mike standing by. Hey, guys, Kiel was able to go on this big run here in the first half. How were they able to do it?
Yeah, impressive. Kiel now leads by 7 points, but you look at time with the lead in this game, and it's been pretty even. Lakeside Lutheran had it early.
They did. They got off to a great start, and then Guzman got the 2 fouls, and I think it changed their offense a little bit. Kiel really dug in defensively, and then Grant Munns was terrific in that first half.
All right, let's take a look at those first half highlights. Let's start with Wes Ron. A great move here. He has 12.7 boards for the Warriors.
Yeah, he's been tough for Kiel to defend in the first half. And here you're going to see Newman with the 3. You look at Lakeside, Carly, they've only had 4 players score in that first half. They're going to need more contributions.
And they only have 1 3, and that was it. And then Ranky gets 2. So they led 15-8, and then the Raiders, they come back as Munns gets it to go. He's a big reason for the comeback. 9 points, 10 boards for him, and then a 3-pointer from April there.
Yeah, not only did the defense get better for Kiel, but they got contributions from Heckman, Murphy here on the drive and the finish. They're just a little more balanced in that first half. We'll say this as you look at the leading scores, or not scores, I'm sorry, the statistics, pretty even for the most part. I think the one thing to look at, points off turnovers. Hasn't been a lot of them, but Kiel's been opportunistic when they've gotten them. And again, I go back to offensive rebounding, something to keep an eye on.
And you see Kiel finish that half on a 19-6 run. Leading scorers, West Ron leading the way for Lakeside Lutheran, and Kiel, Grant Munns leads the way with 9 points and 10 boards. I'm excited for this second half. It's been an even matchup. We'll see who can pull away. Now a message from your statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Kiel with a 6-point lead going into the second half. Keegan Hewitt just caught up with Lakeside Lutheran head coach Todd Jans.
Coach, offensively, they give you a little bit of trouble there in the first half. Just one field goal in the final 10 minutes. What was kind of the message to regroup and get the ball in the bucket?
Right, I think part of that was we sat Casey. Our point guard, he's our energy. He's the guy we build everything off of. And so, our goal was to get through the half without him getting that third foul. I mean, that was the most important thing. And I told our guys I thought they play a little bit of, just fear and sitting back. We haven't done that in a long time. We got to go after and get at and just play fearless and relentless. So we'll do that second half. I think we'll be all right.
Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Best of luck the second half. Carly, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Keegan. Coach, what are you looking for from Lakeside Lutheran to start this half now that Casey's back in?
I think we'll see with Guzman back in the game, high ball screen actions, trying to get him into the paint like they did in the first half, or just isolations. Good read there by Arns.
Takes it all the way, overlays it. April there to clean it up.
That's a big finish by April.
That's a big start to the second half for the Raiders.
Going to see Arns, he's going to get the steal here. If you look at the replay on a little set that Lakeside likes to run, he's going to overlay, but great hustle by April, and then he gets rewarded with the hoop and the harm, and a chance to extend this lead out to 9.
Pierce Arns has 76 steals on the season. He leads the way for the team.
Quick, aggressive, heady, that's how I'd classify Pierce Arns. Coach's son, right?
He plays like it for sure. Newman inside to Ron. Kicks it out to Guzman.
I did wonder if Kiel would maybe try to double Ron when he caught in the post, and there you saw it to start the half.
Ranky over to Newman, inside to Ron. There's that double team. Ranky left open at the top of the key. Makes them pay.
Now that's the one thing, if you're going to double Ron, he's a pretty good passer out of the post. You're going to have to rotate, get the shooters. Again, one guy for Lakeside did not score in that first half was Cooper Mills, and we'll see if they try to get him involved.
Yeah, Mills now averages 10 points per game. Munns looking for help. Arns is there.
Both of these teams playing hard, competing at a high level.
Arns gets inside.
Yeah, you see Ron again was able to disrupt. This is where Guzman is so good in the open floor.
End to end, no problem for Casey
and Coach
Guzman.
Jans was right. He changes their energy level of how they play. They're a little more up-tempo transition with him on the floor, whereas in that first half, they were trying to kind of grind it out and just buy some time and stay within striking distance of Kiel.
Guzman is a tireless player out there. The Raiders with a 3-point lead. Heckman.
Good no call by the officials. Let them play through. Guzman tried to get the call, but again, you want to stay on your feet in that situation. With 2 fouls, it's a pretty risky play to try to make.
Guzman inside. Nice defense by Munns, but Ron is there to clean it up.
Yeah, and that time Munns had to help on the penetration. That opened the door for Ron to be able to get there and clean that up on the offensive glass.
Heckman kicks down to Munns. And Murphy with it up top. April gives it up to Arns. Heckman, the 3-point threat. Murphy, he's going to try a 3 of his own. That's good.
That time Guzman didn't get over the ball screen. Just a little rub screen, and Murphy did a good job coming off of that and knocking down the 3. Again, young man, he had struggled a little bit shooting this year, but has gotten hot at the right time for the Raiders.
A 36% 3-point shooter. A couple big ones here today.
Good movement right there by Lakeside.
Milsna.
And Milsna was able to step into that shot in rhythm.
And Milsna is on the board for the Warriors. We'll see if that gets him going a little bit.
Yeah, potentially it could. You're right, Carly.
So Kiel with a 4-point lead here. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Kiel leading the way 34-30 over Lakeside Lutheran. And there's always a way to watch the tournament. You can watch live streaming coverage of the WIAA tournaments along with stories about the teams, players, scores, and more from across the state. The Magic of March app, sponsored by Delta Dental of Wisconsin, available free at the App Store. Download now to get in on all the action. So Kiel, a 28-0 record on the season. Coach Marcus Rump says, we've always taken it one game at a time. Up until they won conference, they never even talked about a conference title.
Yeah, that was a good post entry. Good left-handed finish by Grant there right around the rim. But you're right, you know, first conference championship in a while for Kiel, and community has really gotten behind. You ever been to Kiel by chance?
No, but I've heard the Kiel community is where it's at.
It's crazy good. I've actually been there a couple times myself, and it's a good place to visit in that Elkhart Lake area, and a lot of good memories over in that part of the state.
Now they're hoping to add a gold ball to the memories in Kiel. 6-point lead here for the Raiders. Arns gets out of trouble, taking it all the way himself, and he's headed to the line.
Yeah, showed great patience there, and then use of the head fake. You're going to see it here as he gets into the paint. Doesn't rush it, uses the shot fake, and he's going to shoot 2 free throws because of that. I think the one thing Arns has not done today, even though I think he's got 4 points on the day, he's not really forced it. He's been patient, let the game kind of come to him. They understand that right now Grant Munz has got it going on a little bit. Murphy's made some shots and been more of a distributor today than a scorer.
We mentioned his dad, Jamie, but his mom, Sarah, was the senior group's youth coach from 3rd to 8th grade. So he's had both parents in his ear at all times, Coach Marcus Rump says.
Yeah, and his mom, Sarah, was a really good high school player and college player, and spent a lot of time with them as youth, coaching them up, as is the case with a lot of good teams. They've got good coaches at the youth level that teach them to play the game the right way, and that's definitely played out as they've transitioned into high school.
Lakeside Lutheran down by 8. Guzman looking to make something happen. Kicks it out to Milsna for the triple. Just off. Guzman with another opportunity inside.
Ron kept that alive with the tip, and then Guzman with his eyes up was able to find his teammate for an easy one.
6-point game, Arns.
Oh, that's crafty. That was well done. Here again, you're going to see Ron gets the finish on a nice pass from Guzman, and there's the right-handed finish by the left-handed player, Arns. So important to be able to finish with either hand, and there Pierce did a real nice job of that.
3-point play for Pierce Arns. That puts Kiel up 41-32. He's got 8 points on the day.
Again, a little matchup zone by Kiel. Not chasing out, protecting the paint. It's been really effective here in the second half especially.
Guzman gets it inside and right back out. What do they need to do here?
Well, if you're Lakeside, you gotta be patient, get the ball in the hands of the right player. It's a pretty good start right there. Well, he makes color guys look good when he makes shots like that. And that time, Kiel just did not account for him on the perimeter.
And he's only a 20% three-point shooter, but knocks down a big one there for the Warriors. And here comes Guzman again. Ron back to Guzman.
Good find.
Kicks it out to Wolfram for 3. Doesn't fall, but great ball movement there.
The ball movement was really good. The shot just didn't go down. And one thing Lakeside has done a nice job of this afternoon, I will say, is they've done a good job getting back in transition and slowing Kiel down, forcing them to have to play half-court basketball a little bit.
For the Raiders, They said the point they knew they could be special, you would have thought it was a game this year or something. Actually, sophomore year is when Coach said he knew that this team could be special. It's senior leg group.
It is, and they had a little adversity last year. Brilliant, who ended up winning the D3 state championship, got them 3 times. And there you see a good post entry, and Munn's going to go the foul line, but there was some adversity there. And we talked about Lakeside having to replace 7 of their top 8. Kiel, a little bit different situation, knowing what they had coming back, taking it game by game, and here they find themselves in the state semifinal game in a really well-played, hotly contested contest.
For them going to Brilliant this year, getting the win in their house was really when they had the confidence.
Yeah, it was in the early part of their schedule. Then they beat them again late in the season to clinch the conference championship. And I think the one thing that can get lost in all this is they make it to the state tournament, but winning those conference championships means you are time tested. I was going to say, I think they're going to get Mills in the here on a lane violation. Munn's is going to get another opportunity, but you win those conference championships, you've done it over the duration of a season, and that should not be lost.
Munn makes it a 7-point game. Lakeside Lutheran with 5 team fouls, Kiel with 0.
Yeah, they're getting close to that bonus, and that for a team that shoots free throws at a high percentage, that could play a big part in this game. But Kiel's done a good job of attacking the basket. That's they've been the beneficiary of that because they've gone hard to the rim.
Wolfram gets
good
down low
pass.
to Ranky, and
really
he finishes.
That was a really good pass by the young man there by Hennessy not Hennessy, I'm sorry, I got the wrong roster. Sorry, Carly, by Wolfram to his teammate Ranky to finish that.
And a steal by Ranky. Guzman all the way. 4 quick points for Lakeside Lutheran. Cut it to a 3-point game. The other way, it's Murphy inside, back out.
Good job of transitioning by Lakeside. Looked like Kiel had a run out. Did a good job of chasing guys off the 3-point line and the ability to set their defense. I think it's a good timeout by Coach Rump to get his guys settled down and organized.
Lakeside Lutheran catching some momentum here in the Division III state semifinal game. Alex Ranky with a big bucket. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Kiel leads 42-39, but Lakeside Lutheran has some momentum right now. They figured out that zone a little bit on that last possession.
They did. Good ball movement, good delivery to Ranky on that finish. And you're right, with Guzman back on the floor, they've just been a lot more efficient on offense, as you see right there, 8 of 11. And the tempo of the game has changed a little bit.
Arns gets inside. Rebounded by Ron.
Well, I was going to say, you can't let him get to his left hand like that, and he just left it a little bit short.
Warriors, Guzman inside. What a finish off the glass.
He's creative with his finishing. He's built low to the ground, but real thick and able to get his chest. Oh, that's a really good finish. Speaking of finishing, good drop step by Munn with the left hand.
Kiel still with a 3-point lead. Guzman has 13 points for the Warriors, looking to add on to it. Ron, offensive board, and put back.
Yeah, he's been a problem all day for Kiel. He's been a problem for a lot of teams this year, but for Kiel in particular, his offensive rebounding has been really big.
18 points for him and 12 rebounds.
Yeah, the foul situation too is interesting because they were able to get Ranky off his feet, and next one they're going to be in the they being Kiel will be in the bonus. And that's his 4th foul, so that's pretty big. As you mentioned, Carly, earlier, he's their best on-ball defender And he's been pretty good today on offense for him. So see if that impacts the game.
Aiden Murphy knocks down the first free throw.
Coach Jan said Alex Ranke, there you saw him.
Yeah.
Outstanding tennis player. I myself more into pickleball.
You're a pickleball guy?
Not real good at it, but
I hear
getting
more
there.
and more injuries happen from pickleball. But I hope you stay healthy. But I've been hearing all these crazy pickleball
The guys
injury
I
stories.
play with would tell you I don't move quick enough to get injured. So it's calculated.
I guess it's the hard-working pickleball player. Ron has it inside on Munns, looking for more.
Well, that time Grant did a better job forcing him off his spot to the baseline and disrupting.
Kiel with a 2-point lead. Less than 9 minutes to go. A spot in the championship game on the line. Arns has great handles. Kicks it out to April for 3. That's a big one.
Well, that's a big shot by April. Arns did a nice job of being patient in traffic, finding April, who was ready to shoot.
10 points for him. He's 2 of 2 from 3. A couple of big threes for April today.
See now with Kiel in the zone, if how Lakeside decides to attack it, if they flash Guzman into the high post like they did right there, or if he kind of floats out to the perimeter and tries to get into the paint with the dribble instead.
This zone just wears you down.
It does, and it disrupts timing on offense, timing and rhythm. It's a good change of pace by Coach Rumpf and his staff.
Wolfram inside to Ron, out to Milsna, three-pointer, short, rebounded by Ben Cronkless, and he's going to draw the foul.
When you look back at that last play by Kiel, there's Arns, the right-handed pass, and April's ready to shoot. And that's a key for anybody watching. Get those hands and feet ready so you can get it off quick. You get to this level, those windows close down fast. And there you see the three-point shooting. Both teams pretty efficient. It's not something they do a ton of when you look at the numbers, but when they take them, they're very efficient with what they do.
Guzman off the mark, rebounded by April. What do you think of the score right now? You thought that this might be where we're at.
I thought it would be played somewhere in the 50s just because both teams are very good defensively. So it's about right on pace with where we thought it might be. Good job by Milsna to move his feet there on defense and cut off that drive. See here, Kiel go to a little, spread the floor, go to a little set potentially.
It's a great spin move by Murphy. Heckman can't capitalize on the three.
Had a good look with one of their better shooters.
Guzman out to Milsna for 3.
That one came off his hand just a little bit funny.
Kiel with a 48-43 lead here. Both teams looking for their first ever state championship.
I think one thing is evident, both of these teams know who they are and they're terrifically well coached by their respective coaches and staff.
Heckman for 3, short, rebounded by Munns. Nice hands by Guzman.
Quick hands by Guzman. See if they try to play in transition here.
Ron draws the foul on Arns. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. Kiel with a 5-point lead here. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Kiel with a 48-43 lead over Lakeside Lutheran. They've had that lead for the entire second half so far. I talked to Marcus Rumpf just about what it means to make it to the state tournament. He said, I wasn't on the staff in 2010, the last time that Kiel made it here. He graduated 3 years prior to that, but he said being on the outside, looking in, and now actually being a part of it is incredibly special. Yeah, it's got to be. I think for any of the teams that make it here, it's special. And as you said, having played for Coach Arns previously, and so it is a special trip. There you see Guzman get into the teeth of the defense and make something happen. He's a player that just has no fear getting in there. No, he doesn't. He absolutely does not. And goes hard to the rim, creative with his finishes, and
going to get 2 foul shots right now.
The 2024 WIAA Basketball Championships are brought to you by Construction Business Group and Destinations Career Academy, preparing students for a rewarding career as a Wisconsin operating engineer.
You know, 2 young men that have had a big impact on this game for Kiel, Carly. Braden April, Aiden Murphy. Both, you know, April's in double digits because we thought Munns and Ron would be key contributors, right?
But you said it had to be those role players.
It's got to be somebody off the grid, so to speak, and thus far it's been those 2 guys for Kiel. And with Ranke with 4 fouls, we'll see at what point Coach Jans comes back with him here in this contest. I would think around the 5-minute mark, maybe 4 minutes, depending on where the score is at and the situation.
Easton Wolfram in the game for the Warriors, and he's a guy that replaces Ranke a lot. Coach Jan says they're a double-headed monster wearing guys down defensively. So although their best on-ball defender is sitting on the bench right now, he doesn't feel like they lose a lot with
Not
Wolfram.
a bad option to go to, absolutely.
Guzman behind the back. Ooh, tried to dump it off, but Arns.
Good hands by Munns there to disrupt. Because I saw what he saw. I saw Ron wide open on the backside. Ooh, that would have been big for Kiel.
Here's Ron pushing the tempo. Three-pointer from Wolfram. They needed it, but Crockliff there for the offensive board.
Yeah, the ball movement was really good, and because Kiel had to shift their defense, that allowed Wolfram to be on the backside to get that. There's a good find.
Ron misses an easy one. He's mad at himself there, but he's headed to the line.
Yeah, that's one he'd probably like to have back, point blank.
Another great find there by Guzman underneath the basket.
Yeah, he, scooted through there with a quick first step and had his head up and found Ron for what could have been an easy one, but still shooting free throws on the possession.
He's a 55% free throw shooter. He's got 18 points, 16 boards on the day, but can't knock them down there at the line, so Lakeside still trailing by 3 points. Murphy loses his defender. Out to Munns. And Ron, he read it the whole way.
This guy's all over the place.
Deflected out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Warriors. As
a sophomore, to be able to do the things that he can do with a frame and a body that can get a lot better yet, it's quite impressive.
Guzman out to Cronkliss and gets it right back up top. He's got Arns on him. And Murphy switches on him.
Kiel's doing a good job recognizing where shooters are at, knowing where Milsna is.
And there he is, three-pointer on the way. Ties
well,
it.
They did. And there Milsna did a better job moving without the ball. And it's all back to even, a little nickel dimer, but that's big because Arns is going to go to the foul line.
Here's a three-pointer to tie it up at 48.
Yeah,
Cooper
good job.
Milsna.
Just like we said with Arns, that time Guzman stayed patient and found his teammate, Milsna, the senior, quarterback on the football team, able to knock down the big three-point basket.
We touched a lot on Guzman, but I really can't talk enough about him. He had three players on him right there in the paint. I didn't know how he saw Milsna over there.
And was patient with it, right? Didn't rush it, and then had the wherewithal to deliver that pass on time and in rhythm to Milsna.
See why they put him in the middle right there, and he scores to take the lead. The Warriors' first lead of the second half.
And if you're Kiel, this is where you need your seniors to really step up.
The last time they led was 15-13 in the first half. Lakeside Lutheran on a run here. A big part is Casey Guzman.
Yeah, and when you look back at the first half, he was on the bench in foul trouble. Coach Jan said it at halftime. They needed him on the floor, but only with the two fouls. He makes the big pass, and then he has the quick finish to the rim.
And he has 17 points. What a game so far. Averages 14 points per game. Leads the team with 81 assists. Just a passionate, energetic player. You look at his points for the game. He only had 4 in the first half. 13 of them coming in the second half. Obviously was in foul trouble for that first half. But like we've said, it just shows how much he impacts this game.
Absolutely. Has had a major impact on it. The tempo of the game has changed with him on the floor. And he's been a major player here in the second half for the Warriors.
Less than 4 minutes to go. A state championship spot in the state championship game on the line. Any adjustments that you make on either side?
I don't think so. I think if you're Lakeside, keep the ball out of the paint. If you're Kiel, go to that guy right there. Good things seem to happen, and they did on that possession.
Munz headed to the line for the Raiders. Yeah, they need to get him going a little bit more here.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that I've seen with Munz, the UW Stevens point recruit, he's comfortable playing right or left-handed, and there he attacked with his left and makes this a one-point game as he gets the friendly bounce off the Cole Center rims.
He only has 5 points so far in the second half, so I can see him getting involved here a little bit more down the stretch for this Kiel team.
Absolutely. I would expect the ball to be in Orange's hands and Munz's hands a lot. And for Lakeside, it's going to be Guzman and Ron really dictating what they try to do on offense. The one thing I'll say is Lakeside is very comfortable using clock and trying to get exactly what they want on offense.
Ranke back in the game for the Warriors. Wolfram stays in the game. Out to Guzman. Thought about the 3. Has arms on him. Drives. Kicks it out to Ranke. He's in the paint. Floater. No good, but he's headed to the line.
Good change of speed there by Ranke to get into the paint and then get into the defender's body. Ranke was big at the end of the sectional final game, free throw shooting. So when he gets there, very good free throw shooter. I don't want to jinx him. We're not going to give him the announcer's jinx. Are we, Carly? We did.
That wasn't me. I didn't say anything. I couldn't have been more in and out for that free throw.
That thing rolled around there, rolled around, and fell out. Been really solid today, though. There you see it, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
And second one goes. Coach Johns, he said, when people say, why are we here? A big part of it is Alex Ranke.
Yeah, just solid and steady. And they really, the one thing they can't put Ranke on Orange with the 4 fouls, so he's going to draw a secondary defender. Did a good job right there, taking him right down to the post. And even though Orange is 5'10", he's very crafty down there. I think he's a high, as I watch him, he's a high IQ basketball player. I think we mentioned that before, but that's a really smart play, knowing the time and situation of the game.
Knocks down the first one. 69% free throw shooter. Second one on the way. Ties it back up at 51. You don't want to miss the ending of this one. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Back and forth game here in the Division III state semifinal game. We're all tied up at 51 apiece. And you look at the tie and lead changes in this one. 6 ties, 2 lead changes. When one team has grabbed the lead, they've had it for a big chunk of time, but then eventually that other team has come back.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. 2 teams that when they looked in the mirror saw each other, and I think that's played out exactly that specific way. So no surprises. 2 really good teams, 2 well-coached teams, great individual play. He has been huge in this second half for Lakeside, he being Casey Guzman.
19 points for Casey Guzman. The junior is having himself a game. Munz down to Murphy. Munz is going to try the 3. Short.
Ooh, they didn't go get the rebound, though.
And takes it in himself. Ranke comes away with a big board there.
And that's going to be Orange's 4th foul, so he's got to be a little careful here moving towards the end of the game. But
a couple guys with 4 on the floor right now. Ranke for Lakeside Lutheran and Pierce Arns for Kiel.
Yeah, 2 very key factors, key pieces of this game now with a little bit of foul trouble.
2 minutes to play. Lakeside Lutheran with a 2-point lead. A lot on the line here. Guzman off the glass.
Boy, there's that guy again. Ron has been, that's his 18th rebound of the contest. And
unbelievable.
Between him and Munz, just going hard at it on the glass, but there Ron got the better of it. Going to have a chance to extend this out to a 2-possession lead.
He has a lot of size. He's 6'7". You can see that by the way he rebounds, but Coach Todd John says he also plays like a guard. He can go coast to coast, and we've seen that all game.
We've seen that. We've seen him handle the ball in transition. It's a good skill set, and you got to believe he's only going to get better.
Only a sophomore is pretty unbelievable. 1 of 2 at the line. Warriors with a 3-point lead. Under 2 minutes to play here.
Look for Kiel here to go. Try to get the ball to Munz down in the post. Or see if he tries to take another heady play. Yep. That time they inverted. What I mean by that is they put Arns down in the post, made a good flash to the ball, and Munz was on time with the delivery, and Pierce is going to get 2 free throws.
Wolfram's picked up a couple of fouls now on Arns.
And again, because of the 4 fouls. Because of the 4 fouls on Ranke, they can't necessarily put him on Arns, so he's drawing a smaller defender, and it's really good basketball on part of Coach Rumpf and his coaching staff.
Arns goes 1 of 2 at the line. 2-point lead for the Warriors.
Again, Kiel going with a 2-3 matchup. They'll extend it up, try to pressure. Again, Lakeside would have no problem being patient here.
Guzman out to Ranke. Back up top to Milsna.
Lakeside gonna make Kiel come and get them.
Wolfram out to Milsna. Inside to Guzman. Nice pass down low to Ron, and he's headed back to the line.
A good find by Guzman to find Ron down on the baseline. And again, because Kiel had to extend out, some of those passing lanes were available, and a little bit of contact, just enough where the official felt that was impeding Ron's ability to take that shot. And there you see 19 points, 18 rebounds. Again, the free throw shooting today for Lakeside has been a little bit of a bugaboo. To look at the numbers on that, but
bugaboo.
Yeah.
I like that.
You like that one? Never heard that? That's my generation, not yours. Right? Issue. It's another word for issue. You know,
yeah. No, I picked it up. It was just so Kiel 0 for 7, 0 field goals in the last 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes in this one. Raiders desperate need for a bucket, down by 3, less than a minute to play. Arms.
Good closeout there by Guzman.
Heckman, 3-pointer.
Oh, big shot by Heckman. Good find by Arns.
Ties it up.
Ties this game up.
And a timeout on the floor from the Raiders. Big 3 from Jack Heckman. He's their best 3-point shooter, shooting 41% on the year.
Well, Coach Rumpf said Heckman spent a lot of time in the gym in the offseason. There you see it pay off. I mean, that was about as pure can be. Great release rotation. And it puts Kiel in a position to tie this basketball game up. And now we'll see what Lakeside has in mind. My guess would be Guzman and Ron will touch this ball. But if you're Kiel, you can't sleep on these other guys for Lakeside. And the other thing is when the shot goes up, the offensive rebounding, you've got to clean that, you've got to seal that off because Lakeside will go hard to the glass.
Kiel has the possession arrow here. We just saw Jack Heckman hit that big three-pointer. He is their best three-point shooter, but he's 1 of 5 on the day, which is a little uncharacteristic of him, but hits a big three when it counts.
Yeah, and give him credit for sticking with it. A lot of young men would not want to take that shot in that spot, but Pierce Arns got it to him on time and in rhythm. And therefore, this is going to go right down to the wire.
38 seconds remaining. A spot in the Division III state championship game on the line. Warriors.
I would expect they'll milk this down to the last possession, or last few seconds, and then Guzman and Ron will have the ball in their hands. Probably in some type of two-man action. Should go get it right now.
Here we go, 10 seconds left on the clock.
For Ron to come and set a ball screen, maybe, or they're going to go 1-4 flat.
Guzman all the way off the glass.
Oh, what a shot! That's
Lakeside Lutheran!
Did we get a timeout? There might be a timeout. I'm not sure. What a finish by Guzman has been unbelievable here in the second half. I'm going to go back.
Sounds like there is going to be some time left here.
Yeah, 1.5. There you see it. Off balance finish, gets it high up off the glass. Give Coach Jans credit. He wanted Casey in a one-on-one deal. I mean, you can't defend that any better than Kiel did. I mean, they get him offline. The help is there.
Unbelievable from Casey Guzman. 21 points. And the bucket to take a 2-point lead with just 1.5 left on the clock.
Well, if you're Kiel now, you've got 1.5, and we've seen a lot happen in 1.5 seconds over the history of the tournament. You're going to try to get, something passed up probably to half court. Give yourself an opportunity, and if you're Coach Jans, you're telling your guys, whatever you do, contest without fouling. But there you see, for Kiel, 3-point leaders on the season. Those three guys have been their primary threats from distance. But I go back to that last play. Guzman makes an unbelievable individual play. Give Coach Jans credit. He didn't bring the ball screen where there was the potential for a double. They go one-on-one. Kiel defends that as well as you can. And now that sets up this last possession.
The Raiders with 1.5 seconds left. Heckman inbounding it. Arns gonna launch it. Off the mark, and Lakeside Lutheran is headed to the Division III state championship game. Casey Guzman, the hero for the Warriors. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Lakeside Lutheran pulls off the thriller to advance to the Division III state championship game. Keegan Hewitt is standing by with head coach Todd Jans.
First of all, congratulations, Coach. When we spoke at halftime, you told me Casey Guzman was going to have his fingerprints on this game. It was only a matter of time. What was the mindset there holding the ball with clock striking 0?
Well, simply at the end, right, 38 seconds, we wanted to have the last shot. Ball in Casey's hands at the end. So we just, space it out, run it down. They didn't pressure to allow us to do that. And, that's stuff that we've run in practice all year long. So it's just a matter of getting into it. You put the ball in your best player's hands and you let him go make a play. And he did. And thankful and blessed and just excited and all that good stuff. So, these guys have worked hard. I mean, it's just, and to be here and to accomplish this with this group it's phenomenal, special, and just no words to describe it.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you Saturday in the state championship. Carly, back to you.
I love Keegan's excitement. We feel that same way. What a thrilling game. Lakeside Lutheran pulls it off. They're headed to the Division III state championship game. For Mike Hoosier, I'm Carly Murata. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be right back here for the second session later tonight.